Good morning or good afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. I want to welcome you back to the Tips to Talk podcast. This series is called In Praise of Principles, and it's really meant to talk principle to principle about why you find joy in being a principal, even when you've got the world coming down around you sometimes. And I have with me today from Midway ISD, Wes Kanawyer. So Wes, welcome to the podcast. Why don't you
Howdy, thanks for having me.
You bet. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I started my career just really feeling compelled as if education was a calling. I just wanted to be used by God in the most needy areas. That led me to about 8.5 years as a history teacher in a Title I district. I loved it, and went into full-time admin at a charter school for about 5 years, and I just took to leadership. I loved it, and it has just become a passion of mine to serve adults in the building and empower them to most effectively serve kids. And here I'm at Midway in a leadership role. We relocated to Texas, and absolutely love it. Love my team, and the district's phenomenal. So
great. That's cool. Now, do you're married and have kids, or are you?
Yes, married for about 16 years now almost.
Oh, wow.
We have 4 wonderful children, 14, 12, and 10, and 1 dog. So we hopped on the golden doodle bandwagon.
Oh, I hope my wife doesn't watch this. She wants to go and do it.
Yes, they're great. They're great. So here we are, loving Texas, loving Midway, and appreciating my time with TEPSA. So
what kind of grades are in your school?
So we're an intermediate school. We have about 700 students, 699 to be precise. And it's 5th and 6th grade at the intermediate level. Super. I think it's I've been, high school, middle school principal and whatnot. I found my passion at the 5th and 6th grade level. I think is the perfect little cross section of students.
Man, I'm with you. That's what I did my last dozen years or so. Well, actually, my last 20 years, I had a intermediate school, and it's like you have a guy that's like 3'2", and you have a guy that's 6'2", and they're best friends. It's just a wonderful time. So that's full of fun.
It is. They still love their teachers and very impressionable. It's kind of humbling when you walk the halls, and I tell a young man, you cannot outgrow me this year. Okay.
Yes. I get it.
Oh,
I get it. That's fun. Well, Vic,
yes.
Wes, these are very, very strange times we're in, and
they are.
You're near the Waco area, which has had a significant battle with the COVID. And just tell us, what have you found most challenging this year?
Yeah, I have the pleasure of working on a phenomenal team that's very collaborative and proactive in nature. So we, in deciding to go, in developing a plan to go face-to-face instruction, and as it sits right now, my school in particular, we only have, out of our 699 students, about 134 that are virtual, and the rest are face-to-face. So it's been really cool to see that with the proper proactive protocols, safety precautions, and just comprehensive measures, that we can at this time do school face-to-face successfully and safely. So that's been really encouraging to me. It has been eye-opening just how much our kids need what we provide them. A safe environment, a supportive environment, structure, food, and all of those things that we do now in school, just comprehensive services, counseling, and then you have the academic component. So to do that and be able to still offer that despite a pandemic, despite challenges, even in our county with significant numbers or whatnot, it's really encouraging. But the people that have borne the brunt of a lot of these changes and challenges have been our teachers.
Yeah.
And one of the things that has been heavy on my heart and at the forefront of my intentions is serving them and supporting them in any way that I possibly can, and really creating structures to provide them margin as they
Mhm.
now do double duty in the
Yeah.
teaching
Yeah.
world. You know,
Yep.
so we have those teachers that are raising families, and teaching was already uh, an extraordinarily demanding job
Yep.
prior to COVID. And then you add virtual on top of that. It's like, okay,
Yep.
how can we equip and
Mhm.
serve our teachers to effectively do double duty now?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, are you doing a hybrid, or are you doing some face to face and you have some virtual teachers, or how are y'all working that?
So we're going full face to face Monday through Friday. And we have 134 virtual students right now. So our
Okay.
teachers have face to face students, and then they will also have a virtual load. So in a given period, they may have 20 students face to face and 5 that are virtual. So
Gotcha.
um, we've adopted the asynchronous model.
Hmm.
And one of the things that we did early on to create margin in their workday, in their duty day, was to provide them. We revamped a lot of the master scheduling just to make it a point and provide them a virtual period to plan. So they have a planning period and also a virtual planning period,
Okay.
just to make it that much more doable and reasonable for them.
Yeah. My daughter teaches first grade, and she was chosen to be the virtual teacher. Uh, Not liking that. I mean, first grade teacher needs kids. And she's like,
Yes.
so it's been a real
Well,
challenge. Oh, I understand
well,
teachers real well.
yeah, you have these teachers, they love kids. They love
Yep.
serving kids. They want to see the kids and fist bump them and give them a
Mhm.
side hug
Yep.
and show them affection. And then you take that out of the mix. So that's one step removed there just with COVID protocol. And then you take it another step with some of them to where
Yeah.
they don't even see them face to face. There's no
Yep.
redirect. There's no, hey Johnny, go ahead and
Yeah.
pay attention to this. Read me this. What are you doing
Uh,
here? Like there's multiple steps removed,
yeah.
which compounds the challenge of teaching.
Yeah. Although I must say she needs to compile a video of some of the actions of her students online, which I would think could be a hoot. Oh my gosh. But anyway, let's move
Oh,
on. I usually ask my interviewers or interviewees, if there's something that they can share that they're doing that other principals across our listening audience might like to try, something they could try this week.
sure. No, thank you very. That's a wonderful question. I think the heroes of the day, going back to teachers, if there's one group of people that have shown that they have just grit and tenacity and just a true calling to the profession, it is our teachers,
Hmm.
um, who just go above and beyond, and they have adapted, they have overcome, and they're still bringing it for kids.
Yeah.
And we're pulling assessment data that is encouraging, and despite all the challenges. So
Hmm.
I would say, a lot of times leaders are successful, classroom teachers or coaches, and whatnot, and they go on to have more and more influence, and want to impact the lives of the kids. Well, as a principal, you primarily do that through your teachers. So what are
Hmm.
you doing to encourage and empower your teachers today? I mean, I spent a significant amount of time before break filling out encouragement cards, just thank you cards with our letterhead on it that actually gets
Hmm.
mailed
Yeah.
to the residents, and just little gestures like that make a difference.
Yeah.
Also, though, probably more impactful to setting a tone that is pervasive across the campus. We spend about a third of our time probably in any given staff meeting, and our staff meetings right now are online just to be precautious,
Hmm.
as a precautionary measure. We spend about a third of that time with our staff recognizing the contributions and the accomplishments of their peers. And they'll make a slide and a slideshow that's presented, and Bitmoji's all the rage nowadays.
Yeah.
So they get fun, they have fun with it. So they create an entire slide around one person and
Oh,
why praise should always be specific, right?
yeah.
Otherwise, it can feel like empty platitudes. And they are very specific with their praise, and that sets the tone for the meeting. It sets the tone for our school culture. And you don't have just some arbitrary award that gets passed around, but you actually have, no, like, I'm recognizing this person for these reasons, and that's why they're great. And it's a real morale booster, and it maintains a positive school culture. I think that would be the one takeaway that I would suggest.
Super. You know, the mailing the cards home is kind of, I used to do that too. And it's interesting that people say, well, just shoot them off an email. It doesn't,
No one likes email.
Sticking that stamp on there, mailing it, I think is terrific. And I appreciate you doing that. Well, Wes, I think we met on a tour of your school. Is that the first time we met, or we met?
Yes, sir. Last year.
Yep. And I enjoyed it. I could see the energy there. You had a great team going. But, this has been a strange year. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of consternation, a lot of tears, and even some heartbreak with some of the situations that we've seen. But you're still joyful being a principal. How do you do that? Why do you enjoy being a principal?
Yeah, I love, as a teacher, I wanted to make a difference in the classroom. When I went into leadership, I found a passion for empowering other educators. Whether that's a tool, whether that's encouragement, whether that's professional development, guidance, like just empowering them to make a difference. And we cannot do this as singletons. We have to do it together. So just a passion for servant leadership and collective leadership at that. Because when we pull together, we're going to be able to accomplish a lot more on behalf of our kids who absolutely need us right now. But when we work collaboratively, when leaders are serving their staff and empowering them and providing a tight, loose structure in which to just set them free and to energize them to greater and greater degrees of effectiveness, it's just energizing. It's refreshing. And you see the benefit on the student's face when you're out in the halls greeting everybody. And when you have a positive climate and you have peers and folks that you work with that are empowered and that are energized because their work is so gratifying and rewarding, it just brings joy to me as a leader, quite frankly.
Well, I could see that when I was in your school. A lot of energy, a lot of positivity. Starts from the top. You're a great example of that, Wes. And I want to thank you for talking with me today and with sharing some ideas with our principals out in the field. And I hope to see you at a TEPSA event very, very soon. So we will see you soon, Wes.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. It was an absolute pleasure.
Great. Thank you.
All right.